time you had to burn on your last drive, or second last drive. Something happened. Fred Johnson, it looked like.
Yeah, no, we were planning on going a delay there and taking our time out to try to go there. So nothing. That wasn't on Fred.
Nick, what was your thought process on the 3rd and 3 call on the pass? And on that play, is there a mechanism where Jalen just sits down, takes a sack, if that's not wide open?
Yeah, definitely. We wanted to. They were running a certain defense and junking it up in the middle. So we're trying to go around the outside, and it didn't work.
What was your thought pattern there on going kicking the field goal 4th and 3? Did you think about going for it?
Again, in that scenario, I was thinking they might not have any timeouts there, but obviously they did with the incomplete pass. That would have came down to maybe a minute, and so we wanted to go up 6 points, and it didn't work. So, the decision to pass it there, again, like I said, where they were junking it up inside, with it being 4th and 3 to go for it, I thought, with them not having any timeouts, I wanted them to be down a touchdown and see if they could drive the field, and they did. Hats off to them.
I apologize for stats already, but when you look at the final 2 minutes of this game, what do you take away from this, and what caused it?
They made a couple more plays than we did down the stretch. We made some plays, they made more, and that's on all of us. That starts with coaching and goes to the players. We're all responsible for the loss. That's how close games are in this league, right? To 22-21. Sometimes it just comes down to a couple plays, but it's never just one play. It's never just that play, because all the plays equal up to the win or to the loss.
D lineman just had 1 sack in 2 games. Not a lot of pressures. Are you getting enough from your pass rush, from your front four?
We'll obviously look at this game and see what happened. I think sometimes you have to earn the right to rush. Meaning you got to have them in passing situations. It didn't seem like we had some passing situations today. They were in 3rd and manageable or 2nd and manageable. So sometimes you got to earn the right to rush. And like I said, when they're ahead of the sticks, that makes it a little bit harder on the pass rush. So we'll look at the tape of this game, and we'll see what happens. We'll see with what it is.
We see you guys use the tackle circuit a lot, but it seems like there's been a key moment. There's been a lot of missed tackles over. What do you do at this point in the season? I know it's still early, but what do you do this season?
Yeah, it's early. We'll keep working on our tackling. We'll keep, just like you keep working on your ball security, just like you keep working on your catch circuits, just like you keep working on trying to take away the football. But yeah, a couple missed tackles in some situations, a couple good tackles. I thought the guys really had great effort to the football. We knew we needed to do that with Bijan, the way he could kind of make somebody miss, and it felt like when he would make somebody miss, there'd be somebody right there in his hip. So we knew he would get some that would, he'd make some guys miss, but our emphasis was trying to make sure that we were there with the rest of the guys to pick up the pieces.
So the place, is there any teaching point, anything to point out with those illegal downfield? I think there were 3 of them today. Some of them RPOs.
Some of them are on us as coaches. Some of them are on a player being down, going too fast. We coach that not to go too fast, but some of them are on us in the certain scenarios of when we call them. It's really hard to get called for, in my opinion, for a bubble screen. To being able to throw a bubble screen out there. I mean, that happened so quick, and but it looked like they made the right call on all those. It's just hard when you can't throw that bubble screen out there when they load the box on something like that. But we got to play the rules that are there. I thought, again, like I said, I thought the referees were right on the calls. Sometimes it was a coaching thing, sometimes a player thing.
Nick, with the player's side, are there decisions you would have done differently in hindsight?
Sure. Like anytime you go and you don't get points on a drive in the red zone, 4th and 3 in the first one, you're like, well, should I have went for that there? And I went for a 4th and 3 after that. After the completion to Dallas that got us to 4th and 3, we got that, and we got points out of that. So anytime it doesn't work out, That's why I'm sitting in this seat, the head coaching seat. Like, I got to be ready for the consequences of whether it works or whether it doesn't work. And in that scenario, first off, obviously it didn't work. So obviously I'm going to second guess myself in those scenarios that it doesn't. Same thing on the 3rd and 3. It was an incomplete pass. So sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't work. And all I can do is go back and review those and say, did I like what we did here? Would we do it again, or would we change directions next time? Everything's thought out of what we want to do, but that's this game of football. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and in those cases it didn't, and so I got to rethink it.
Nick, with Jalen's interception late there, were you comfortable with him pushing the ball down the field?
Yeah. We got press man on it, one of our best players, and I didn't see the entire play. It looked like I'll have to see exactly what happened, but the intent of that play was to go down the field, and he took a chance, and guy made a good play. I'll have to look at the play and see what happened.
It looked like running the ball, Jalen had a burst that he hadn't had in a while. Did you guys pick up on that? Like, did you want to lean on him in the run game?
Some of his big runs came on scrambles, and there was a couple that were on called runs, and I thought, obviously anytime an interception happens, you're going to want that back. But I thought, I looked up at the scoreboard at one point, he was 20 of 25, making a lot of plays for our team, both in the run game and the pass game. I thought he really played an outstanding game. Again, we'll all have things that we want back. I think the biggest issue on offense, we weren't good enough in the red zone. But Jalen did a lot of things to help us to be in that football game and have a chance to win that football game. He played a really good game. Obviously the last play didn't go as we wanted.
You mentioned the early 4th and 3. What was your thought process on 3rd down? You decided then that you were going to go for it.
Well, sometimes, you can't just be every time it's 3rd and 3 say you're going to run it, right? You got to teams obviously pick up on that. If you're every time you're 3rd and 3 you're going to run it. Every time you're and set yourself up for 4th down. So sometimes you got to throw quick. Sometimes you got to run it. Sometimes you got to set yourself up. Sometimes you have 2 opportunities to get it on 3rd and 3 with 2 passes. Sometimes you have the opportunities to get it with runs. So again. We can't just be so predictable that we're going to say, hey, every 3rd and 3, if you're in 4-down mode, that you're going to run the football. That's just not realistic in this league. There's too many good coaches in this league. Hey, it didn't work in this particular one, and I'd like to have those back.
To clarify on the calls, though, Kellen's making, that.
Kellen's the offense coordinator Kellen's
so
offense coordinator makes the calls. Yeah, if you're trying to stir that up.
Rule him on those calls.
Yeah, I'm the head coach.
Okay, so
On the broadcast, they said AJ's going to miss a few weeks. Is that your?
We'll see. I don't We'll see. I don't know that yet. I won't give you that information yet. I don't because I don't know. I mean, we'll see how that goes.
When you lose a player of that magnitude late in the week, you already had a game plan, I guess, Wednesday, and he's such a big part of it. How much does that change it for you?
Yeah, you adjust it, but I mean, that's happened to us. We've been in this league long enough where those things have happened. You play enough games that happens, and we have contingency plans, and you change the game plan around. You still want to attack them a certain way, but now you're going to use different players and how you attack them. And so, obviously, AJ being down, he's one of the best players in the NFL, so you're going to miss him. But us having the time to go over and switch everything, we have plenty of time to do that, and like I said, I think that the offense where we struggled on offense was more so in the red zone because we moved the ball well. So it was those struggles in the red zone that we got to get corrected because you got to score points down there. And sometimes it was because, like I said, like you guys have said, I went for it in those scenarios. Sometimes we stopped ourselves.
Nick, you went back to it, but when you're giving up 4, 5, 6 yards on 1st and 2nd down running plays, it puts you in a bad spot when you rush the passer. Is there anything schematically that needs to change to guard against the run up front?
Every game's a little bit different. And there's many different ways that you can put yourselves in positions. Obviously, it starts with our fundamentals and technique of how we get movement. Right, that's where it's always going to start. You can call, we can call whatever we want. It's going to come down to our fundamentals of how we. This is football. and it doesn't matter what level you're at. It's how you tackle. It's how you defeat blocks. It's how you get, you pierce the line of scrimmage. And then, then we got to be able to make sure we put them in positions to succeed. And there's plenty of ways to do it. Sometimes it's, with 5 down front. Sometimes it's with a 6 down front. Sometimes it's with the pressure. Sometimes it's with secondary pressure. Sometimes it's with blitz 0. Sometimes it's moving the front. I mean, yeah, we got to do what we need to do to help put them in positions. But it's not just ever, hey, do this to stop this. I mean, that's just not how football works. There's many different answers, and we got to find the right answers and help put the guys in position, and the guys got to make plays.
All right, we've got